doing it, man. Y'all doing it. We had Dillard, man. They up here directing, writing. Look at him on the boom, booming, clapping. Y'all doing it all. All right, man. I had the video y'all for a minute here. Oh, man, that's a great question. I think by growing up the way I grew up, like a lot of us do, it has made me the most creative I could possibly be. Just based on the fact that part of the environment and the elements that we come from actually allows us as artists to be better, meaning that we don't have the necessities that other people get. So, you know, part of my growing up was watching movies, right? Like that was escapism for me. So as you begin to come from these environments, like the thing to do was like, yo, that movie came out, or we gonna go rent that tape from Blockbuster, or we all going to theater to see that one movie. So you allow yourself to be in a vehicle that escapes from what you're from, right? So as you get older and you now begin to want to become a filmmaker, become a writer, what's great about coming from those environments is you have recall. So you're like, damn, I remember how that movie made me feel. Damn, that movie, I watched it 20 times because we had no other movie. And why did I like it so much? Why did I like Trading Places? Why did I like that one horror movie? Damn, why is that comedy so good to me? That recall becomes a muscle for you as a filmmaker. Watching those classic films, right? I remember a long time ago watching Hollywood Shuffle, Robert Townsend. I remember watching that movie 1,000 times, and I didn't know why it was so funny. I didn't know the story behind the movie. I just thought it was Winky Dinky Dog and Robert Townsend. It was just a funny movie to me. And as I grew up and learned the backstory about Robert Townsend, I found that, damn, that was an African-American filmmaker that was also starring in it, that actually took a credit card and stole money off the credit card to make the film, right? And I was like, damn, that's crazy. So those little landmines or grenades that go off in your head later as a filmmaker, you realize those are recall moments where you go, man, okay, so now me watching that movie, me coming from the environment I came from, now when it's my turn, I'm like, damn, okay, well, it's a sense of being desperate to get your movie made, right? It's a sense of you got to go all the way out to go get your film made. And but I think growing up in the environment I came from allowed me to be much more creative, much more spontaneous, much more about the people, because I know how my culture move. I know what our people want. I know what we like. I know what makes us scream and cheer in the theater. And without being from that place, I couldn't access those moments. Yeah, I think you're in competition with you a lot. Sometimes people get it the wrong way. What tends to happen a lot, which I've seen, which is something that we have to beat and get rid of as a people, is what I personally call like a slave mentality. So we constantly are against or competing with each other. And we have to realize it's not a competition between us. Like, I need you to be successful so I can follow your path, and right? I don't want to be like, oh yeah, that movie he did was cool, watch mine though, right? Like, it's room enough for everyone. So the competition, you're right, is with yourself. How do you get better? How do you write better? How do you shoot better? You know what I mean? I watch movies now and I'm going like, damn, I wish I would have did that. You know what I mean? Like, dog, if I could have just moved the camera a little bit more, or if I would have had her say that. That's a constant thing when you're a filmmaker. So yeah, you are in a sense competing with yourself if you're competitive in terms of what you're doing. If you're not competitive, then I feel like this might not be the space for you, because the idea is for you to continuously get better at camera operating, continuously get better as a filmmaker, continuously get better at writing, asking questions. Did the sound come out right? Damn, I almost hit him in the head that one time, right? Like, that's the idea. So yeah, you're in constant competition with yourself, and what are you doing to be better? Elements of a good team. You mean the production team?
Yes, like crew and production.
Good people. The energy when you begin to get on movie sets, it's funny because Lucky, the actor from the movie, was just talking about this earlier. I'm a fan of energy on set. So what happens on a movie set, if the top down, if the energy is right, then you're gonna have a great film. The environment, how do people feel when they come to work? Are they excited? Are they pumped up? Right? Do they like the project? What you don't want, what you don't want is the dude that's camera A operator like, this is terrible. And I can't wait to get off. Right? Or an actor like, damn, I just need to get this money and I'm out of here. All of those things set up how your set is ran. So what I tend to fight for are people that are high energy people. I would rather deal with a mistake from someone that wants to be there, that's super excited, that's just, just energetic, trying to make it right, versus somebody that's really, really dope and don't want to be there. Right? That's what I look for. So I always talk to people. I always tap people. I go to the craft services. I go in there and I talk to them like, hey, what y'all doing in here? What's going on? Everything all right? Right? Anybody, you hear anybody say anything? And if I hear stuff, I go to them like, yo, you okay? Because one person could ruin your whole set. One person on your movie set can ruin everything. And you have to remember when you start getting to the higher tiers of filmmaking, now you begin to deal with unions, right? So now every group has a different union that they report to, a union boss. So you could have one group, all the camera operators are not happy, right? All the grips and electrics, the people doing, they're not happy. So your job as a director is not only to make your movie independently, right? But your job as an independent filmmaker, right, is to make sure that your set is right. Now, if you an asshole, then chances are people don't, like, you've heard the war stories probably. Like somebody come on set, they're yelling at everybody, knocking cups over, right? Screaming and yelling at people because they did something wrong. I can't work like that. And I always attributed that to basketball. As I grew up, the coach I couldn't stand was the one that does that, right? Where he's cussing everybody out, or when you go in the game and you miss a layup and he's like, right? You can't play like that. As a player, you can't play like that. Now the coach would be like, damn, you missed that one. You can make that, dunk it next time, right? That's the coach you like, damn, I'm gonna give it all, right? And it's the same thing for filmmaking. You want the director like, yo, you got this, because that has to translate from the camera operator. Now what happens is that camera operator, because he's charged up and he wants to be there and he's excited, he believes in what you believe in. Now, when you get to that 14th hour and everyone's tired and you're on the set of Black and Blue and you've been there for 16 hours and it's raining and it's cold and it's 4:15 a.m. and your stunt double has to fall off a thing and your camera operator's steady cam been sitting there all day, that's when he goes, I'm gonna get this shot for Deon. Right? So those are energy is the most important thing. There is no line. That's what the movie demonstrates. That we've had this invisible line between Black and Blue, and it's been prolific for a long time, right? That's a gang, and that's the biggest gang in the world. All that stuff has to end. We need police officers from our communities to patrol our communities, right? So it should be cool in 2020 for some kid to graduate from Dillard and say, yo, I'm from 9th Ward. I'm finna go sign up for the police and go back to my community and be a police officer. That's what you kind of want to get to. And I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna start a baseball team. I'm gonna patrol. I'm gonna make sure my grandma and the lady down the street that used to give me food, I'm gonna make sure she good. That's what the movie's about. where Naomi Harris, that character, says she comes back to the community. She realizes that there's a gap between black and blue. She sees something done bad by the police, and she's like, no, that ain't what it's supposed to be like. So then she takes this footage she has, she runs from the police, they're gonna try to kill her, because they like, give me the stuff back. She goes to the community like, yo, we don't want to have nothing to do with you, right? We don't deal with y'all. And then she goes, oh man, this is crazy. Like, I can't get help from them or them, and that's what the movie centers on. And that's why I think it's the most important film I've made. And it's not about a body cam. It's not about police officers and corruption. It's about one person who says, I'm gonna be the change, and I'm gonna spark change with my actions. Yes, to a fault. Like, I think just because the environment I come from and what I've been up against, and the things that I've personally been through, it's just in my DNA. So a year and a half ago, which was nominated for NAACP Image Award, we made a film called Traffic, which was set in a thriller form, but it was about human trafficking. I did that because I woke up one day and my daughter, who was 12 at the time, we got a letter from people saying, like, hey, be aware that kids are being trafficked from the local mall. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm black. Like, what they talking about? And that was the first time I was like, oh, black people get trafficked? Then I realized, like, oh, wait a minute. No, we're the #1 trafficked people in the world. Black and brown people. I had never known that. I always thought, like, oh, I watched the Liam Neeson movie. I'm like, oh, that's only in Russia. They don't traffic us over here. Then I realized, like, no. In the inner city, that's where girls are being trafficked. We normally be like, oh yeah, they just got pimped out. Like, no, pimps turn into trafficking. Girls get taken from this environment because they don't have anything. They're out doing whatever they're doing. They get transferred to other people. Next thing they know, they drugged. And I said, man, this is crazy. So I made a film about it. 2014, I made a film called Supremacy. Mahershala Ali, Danny Glover. That was an incredible film about the third highest ranking official in the Aryan Brotherhood just got out of prison, and within 4 hours he killed a police officer and ran to an abandoned house. I think just the nature of how I see things in film, I always kind of want to take those messages and put them inside thrillers, so we get them and we love them and we're jumping and screaming and yelling. But then when the credits go up, you're like, damn, I learned something, right? Like, that's kind of what I'm trying to do in this, and it's new and it's different, you know. And I've been bashed for it a lot by certain, you know, critics, because they don't understand that I'm doing something that is unique in terms of, if I told you I made a movie about trafficking, and it was this dark, hole in the wall drama with no excitement, you would never see it. You'd be like, I ain't seeing that, right? If I told you I made a movie about traffic and it was Paula Patton, it was Omar Epps, and they go to a gas station and they get into a fight and they jump in the car and they speed off and some people chasing them, you're like, damn, that sounds dope. Yeah, so I figured out a way, like in these films, where I'm like, hey man, I'll make these films feel like this, but in the center of them, I put a little bit of medicine so our people could be like, yo, that's crazy. Get you in so you can see it.
For everybody.
That's a good question. That's a great question, man. Probably it's gonna hurt, and there's gonna be a lot of moments where you feel like you cannot do it. And those are the moments where you're gonna have to really, really stand up and be a man. It's a tough road, man. You know what I mean? Like, for me personally, like, a tough road, man. You know, some people come into this space like, oh, I'm this hierarchy, like, oh, I'm gonna be a director. It's just tough, man. It's tough. everybody wants to shoot a movie. Everybody wants to be an actor. Everybody wants to be in entertainment. Everybody got an idea. You know what I mean? It's tough. Like when you really pull it all the way back, like what makes you different? Who are you, right? How do you gonna get your movie made? When everybody says, yeah, you made it, that's cool, but that ain't shit. Now what? All your resources, everything you have, you put into that, and it ain't good enough for them. Do you get up, pick up the pieces and do it again, and again, and again, and again? That's tough. Some people not built for that. Some people don't want to be built for that. So looking at the younger me, I would say, be ready for war. Be ready to die a bunch of deaths. You know what I mean? And just understand everything you're going to go through, as cliche as it sounds, is going to make you stronger for the moment that you do have a breakthrough. That's what I would tell me. Y'all cooking, man. Y'all doing it, man. This is it, man. I would tell y'all this. This, to me, is incredible. And I'm telling each one of you guys that. Like, as you guys stand here right now, just think, man, a couple years, man, y'all gonna be somewhere with a wife, babies, talking about, man, I was trying to direct when I was in college. Hey, man, attack. These moments are rare. It's kids all over the country right now trying to figure out how to do exactly what you're doing right now at this school. They trying to figure out how to hold that thing and know exactly what you know. I'm telling you that. I've seen them. Okay? Be grateful for the moments and the opportunities that you guys are having right now, because there are not very many for us. So as you guys stand here right now and you hold the camera and you learn how to pull out, you learn how to push action, and you learn how to ask a question, understand that this is like, you don't get these opportunities. And although you're just getting the grounds of what you need to do, right? You have only not even cracked the surface of what you need to know how to do this. The real filmmaking is gonna come when y'all get out of here. When they say, all right, go make a movie. Go figure out who could be on the movie, go figure out what actor, go figure out the script, go get your money, right? What does the producer do? Produce. Produce the money. Produce the script. Produce the talent. Produce results. Right? Don't nobody care, man. When y'all get outside, take these blue shirts off, y'all go out there, it's it. Oh, I went to DU and I was trying to, all right, get your ass to the back, man. Right? What makes you different than that one kid that was at USC that had a short that won an Oscar? Why are you better than him? You are. Because you got to scrap more. Because your program went that big where they just get anytime Coca-Cola and they're like, oh, let me get 20 of the best ones. You are. So that's what's going to make you different. Okay? All of you guys. So thank you. All right, I'm going to eat.
Cut.
Cut!